Hello and welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
And I'm still Sharyn.
We thank each and every one of you all for joining us for another episode of our great and lovely conversations to some. Definitely to us.
Yeah.
But we thank you all. Before we get into today's topic, you have any announcements?
Yes, I have an announcement, and thank you for asking. We are going live next week.
That's next Sunday.
Next Sunday, a week from today. Can I do the announcement?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, next week.
No, it's not a week from today because they're going to see this on Wednesday. So
okay.
We're going live
Wherever you are in the world, it's Sunday, October the 15th. Yes. We are going live. Did we decide on 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock.
Yes, Pacific time. Okay, next Sunday.
Yes.
Live. Sharyn and Rosa, you can ask us anything you want to. We are really looking forward to it. And, I hope you guys tune in because it takes us in a different direction and nothing beats live.
And I absolutely hope you all tune in. A lot of you all asked us to go live, so we can't go live. I mean, we can have a conversation because that's what we do between ourselves. But we would love to have a conversation with you all as well. So,
exactly.
Definitely go live. This is gonna be our first time going live through YouTube, so I'm gonna learn that a little bit more and try to make sure it runs smoothly. But if it's some hiccups,
forgive us
y'all
now.
Love me already.
That's right. Right.
But yeah, we're very excited about that. Also, one other announcement: Sharyn will be in Philadelphia in a couple weeks. I know a couple people already reached out.
18th to the 23rd.
Yeah,
I think it's the 18th to the 23rd. I'll be in Philadelphia attending my 50th class reunion. Yes, 50th. 50.
So if anybody out there who went to what school? Kensington
High School for girls.
I hope you all will be at the reunion as well.
Right. And then that same week you'll be in Las Vegas. But
that's for work.
I know. So well, no matter what, we won't be together. But I will be missing my boo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if you in Vegas, Rose will be there. Okay, so.
But I'll be working, so I can't tell you if we can have time to hook up unless y'all just come to where I am.
Wait a minute. That's the story she's telling me. I can only tell y'all I'll be in Philadelphia what I'm doing. She'll be in Vegas. What can I say?
Doing what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah.
That part. So that's all the announcements
that's
I
it.
have.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anything else. So without further ado, shout out. Shout outs. Oh, I'm just kidding.
She definitely enjoys it.
I enjoy just shouting out our subscribers. I love that. I love the fact that I get to, give them their individual 3 seconds of fame.
Right.
Or whatever it is.
Right.
And
I don't want to get in the way of your joy. So go ahead, babe.
So our first shout out goes to Mona W. Thank you for being a subscriber to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. Also, we have Ashley J. We appreciate you. Thank you for being a subscriber.
Hey, Ashley.
And last but not least is Betty M. Thank you. We appreciate all of our subscribers, as we said before. Also, before we move forward, Sharyn and I are not professionals. This is strictly for entertainment purposes. Our conversations are something that we just have experienced and know about in our own lives.
Right, and we just decided to share some of that with you.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate the feedback you guys give us, and we know we're doing something right when we hear from so many of you who either having very similar or been there, done that kind of thing, or haven't done it, but this is what I would do if it was me kind of stuff. So bring it on, but we enjoy it.
And we appreciate that because that keeps us going too. Mm-hmm. I mean, just when Sharyn and I are having that conversation, like, okay, this is the last month. Then we get somebody else or a few people like, please
keep
just
it going.
Help me, with this, whatever. So we, love that feedback from you all as well.
So. Thank you for remembering to put that out. So.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about dating a cheapskate.
What a thing to talk about, but it happens, right?
It happens, and you know what? And Sharyn and I had a conversation because when it happens to us, or when we see it happening in our circle, sometimes it just irks me for some reason. I don't know why, and I just probably don't like a cheapskate. There's nothing sexy about that. So I guess it just rubs me the wrong way. And so we were having this dialogue that was rubbing me the wrong way. And so that's kind of how we came up with dating a cheapskate.
That's true. Yeah, it's real. And you know, I tell you what, who's out there already vibing with us? If you've been there, you've been there, and you shaking your head. Yep. And look, everybody's got on their own budget. People coming, when you run into people in your life, you don't know where they're at on their own continuum. Emotionally, socially, whatever. But I mean, financially, if you're out there, you know, when you're dating someone and you're just getting to know them, and you know, you start, you know, going more places, doing more things, and you're out and you're introducing her to, you know, you're part of your world and everything. Somewhere or another comes into play the idea of, you know, it takes money to go out and have a good time. Correct. Regardless to what your good time is. I don't care if it's the movies. I don't care if it's the concert. People who spent money to see Beyonce and Taylor Swift, whatever. I don't care how big or small it is. It costs money.
Right.
So now that you know, you're vibing with your young lady, and you know, it gets to a point like, who's going to buy the tickets, where we're going to go to eat, you know, we want to go see a museum, we're just going to the beach, whatever. Something comes up where money will be spent.
Right.
You know, cash or credit card, somebody, you know. But what happens when you know, you guys are in the first stage of your relationship, and you come to find out, you know, you're observing her habits and checking out her preferences and everything, and you always you kind of start hearing the, you know, we don't need to do that. That costs too much money. Why I work too hard for my money.
But let me stop you right there for 1 second, because some of that is definitely not cheapskate material. If you say I don't have that money, then you're putting that up front. That's different.
Well, yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, but there's the reasons why you don't have that money, because one, it's not important to you, and even if you had it, you wouldn't spend it. You know, everything. I just think every case is a case by case scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You don't even know where she's coming from with that. You know,
right?
Look, you can be sitting on. You know, you can have $9,000 in your wallet, and you say, "Well, like, look, can we stop by and get an ice cream cone?" You don't need no ice cream cone. You know, which is code for I ain't buying you one. Now, you may get one, but it won't because I buy it for you. Because you don't know what's connected to what, because you don't know them that well.
Right, and that's fine. And I'm not definitely saying that, because some people, like you said, could be on their own journey. They could be saving up for a home. Right. They could be saving up for their college tuition, their kids' college tuition, whatever it may be. I get that. That is totally different from me being a cheapskate. So I have a coworker that I go out to eat with quite often, and I have never seen her leave a tip. Never. And I'm just like, so I feel like I have to leave extra for the both of us. Mm-hmm. And to me, it's just, how are you not going to leave a tip for somebody who, whether the service was great or not, you know they're not making a lot of money as a waitress or waiter. So definitely tip them. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got $3 in your pocket, put it down there. Like, I just don't understand. You ate and you never ever left a tip. So to me, it's like you're saying you never had great service.
Right.
And I don't know. And we go out and eat often, so I don't even expect her to do it at this point. I just know that, you know, when we leave, I'm just gonna put a little extra down,
right? So
it covers kind of the both of us. And I don't, half of the time I don't even know what her amount was, because we do get separate checks. But at the same time, I'm just like that. I mean, to me, it just irks me. And she's a good friend. We laugh together, you know.
Yeah,
we joke together.
The work stuff,
right? Yeah. But so it's not like I'm not gonna stop going out to eat with her. It's just that I've seen her in different aspects of her life, and I'm like, she a cheapskate.
Okay. Now,
Cheapskate.
let's say
And
that's true. Let's say it's true, and it sounds like it is.
Well,
Okay. So with that, now have that carry over into a person that's a romantic interest.
right, that's what I was getting into.
Right now,
so I'm not dating her.
Right, you ain't dating her.
But
You ain't no
suppose-
plans on it. Yeah.
Right, but suppose, like, you know, she's not even gay. But suppose we were dating. That would drive me up a wall. Drive me up a wall. When you go in somewhere, let's say you going to, we're on a date and we're going into a, what do you call it? Like a buffet.
Yeah.
So when you go into a buffet style place, you kind of know what the price is going to be. You know, they're going to say buffet for $14.99.
Or whatever. Yeah.
All you can eat, whatever. In your mind, when somebody says $14.99, that's already $15, number one.
Okay, that's 15. Yeah, sure.
How are you going to just say, I'm just going to pay $15? You ain't thinking about the tax. You not thinking. So if you going as a group and everybody have to put their money on the table and you put your $15 down, to me it's like you expect somebody in that group to take up for your stuff.
debt,
Because if you had just gone up there and paid your money, they would have been like, I don't know, $15.95, you know, whatever the tax is.
Right.
So you would have still had to come out of pocket. It's just
actually
those
$17.95.
type people
Yeah.
that drives me up a wall. Like if somebody says we're going out to eat as a group, I'm not fighting over a French fry. Who had the French fry?
Right. No, who had the extra French fry? Right.
I'm just not gonna do who had an extra Coke and I only had water.
Did your burger come with cheese or not? Well, then you got to put in another $1.35.
Right. Oh.
But remember, I tell you, no matter whether you're dating, social, or you know, a social connection, a workplace buddy, whatever, everyone has their own attitude about money. And I don't mean just the finances on a personal level between you and your partner. I'm talking about when you go out into the world by yourself, everyone has an attitude. Have some kind, maybe it is an attitude, but they have their own idea, you know, what's worth some money and what's not. And you'd be surprised what's on the list.
Right. But even when I was broke, I'm kind of still broke. But back in the day,
you ain't broke.
When I was single, living the single life and didn't have a lot of money, if I knew if the buffet was $14.99, I didn't want to spend $15, $16, to $17, I would just say, I'm not going. I'll pass this time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not just going to go in there with that $15 and feel like that's enough.
Right.
So sometimes you just got to pass up on stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
next time.
As broke as I was, if I had it, I'm definitely gonna spend it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I know I'm at least need $20 walking in the door.
Right.
So I'm okay with that.
And some people don't even see it that way.
But
so
that's what I'm saying.
You.
But that's having the attitude about money. Like, where do you see that?
So here you go. So you're dating, and now you two are now spending more and more time together. I didn't say you exclusive, but it look like it's going. Y'all getting ready to go down that road called just me and you kind of thing. So like I said, you observing people's attitudes and you know how they feel about certain things, and where does the conversation come into? You know, sweetie, I kind of noticed that you you never leave any money on the little tray there or whatever, or I always leave the money on the tray because you never do. Whatever your conversation is going to be, and that's when people start talking about, or if they choose to, it's like, well, I don't think they deserve nothing. You know, nobody don't give me a tip when I'm at work. Okay, so I don't give nobody a tip, and that's how they feel. That's what you got. Now, but how does it affect you, and how does it affect the relationship?
And that's what I'm saying.
Or does it?
Because that says a big statement for some people. For me, like, I would already start backing away, because if you feel that way about other people, then that's kind of how you feel about your life going forward. And I don't want that in my life. That energy that you're bringing, whereas, you ain't leaving this because people don't leave you, like tick for tack. That's a whole nother conversation too.
Yeah, it is.
Because that rubs me the wrong way too. I'm just, it's just extra couple dollars is not gonna hurt anybody, especially when you're coming out and you getting ready to eat. Period.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm using it in just the eating aspect, because when you're saying cheapskate go across the board for other stuff. It's just that I've experienced it more when we're at restaurants, because I don't really date cheapskates, so I don't really,
good to know.
Yeah. So,
and for the record, I am not a cheapskate.
She's definitely not a cheapskate. But when I see that in our circle of friends when we're out, it just rubs me the wrong way. But at the same time, and I'm not saying I need a gold digger or somebody. I'm just saying somebody who thinks about you when they're out and about. You know, if Sharyn saw a shirt, whether it was on sale or the whole price, if she thought I looked nice in it, she's gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know, you're thinking about the person, and everything doesn't have to be, you know,
monetary,
right?
Yeah,
but
I hear you.
Just the fact that somebody's thinking about you, and you're okay with spending a couple dollars on the person that you care about. Mm-hmm. So if you don't really care about people because they don't pay you and you ain't tipping them, they ain't tipping you, then that's kind of how you feel in a relationship. That's a red flag for me. Big red flag.
Yeah, and it's so personal.
Yeah,
it
really
is. It's so personal because this is the person that you're starting to, like, say, vibe with, maybe, or like maybe she's really good in different places, you know, and maybe spiritually, like, you guys really vibe, or this and that, and she's really focused on helping black youth and whatever the wonderful things she could be doing. But at the end of the day, she's a cheap heifer.
Yeah,
and I'm with you. It bugs me too, and that doesn't matter whether I'm with my wife, my friends, or whatever. I get embarrassed when people, the check come. One, if I'm at lunch with you, believe me, I can take care of myself, yourself, and your aunt that you decided to bring.
Right,
to lunch,
exactly.
Right, if I wanted to. But that's not the issue. What I'm saying is, it's just amazing to me how I am so okay with picking up the tab, or can I contribute to the tip or whatever. I don't care if you ain't do nothing but buy me, bring me some lemonade.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I appreciate it. We sat here and we had a good conversation, and give her $5 and tell her have a good day. This has happened to me when sometimes people who, if they really not into, the tipping thing, or giving anybody a little bit of what they have, they get upset when you do. I have left tips, and I tell you one matter of fact, this one, we've nothing but friends, but it was just like, I left a tip on the table. She literally picked it up and put a smaller bill on the table because she said they don't need a tip that big. I said, like, first of all, don't you be blocking anybody's blessings.
Right.
You know what I mean? And because you feel the way you do about things, that doesn't mean that I feel the same way.
Right.
And it was my money, and I can leave a nice tip if I want to.
Right.
Kind of thing. So that, it just, to me, it was a little extreme, but it showed me how she really felt.
Right.
And she was no love interest, but just a buddy. And I was just like, what's that about? Right. How you gonna pick up my 20 and put down a 5?
Right.
Like, how dare you? Right. But that just shows you how she is so plugged in. That's just who she is.
Right.
You know what I mean? I said that wasn't for you to do that.
Right.
It really wasn't. So we're even talking about it today. One, because we see it in some of the couples we know. We see it in life.
Yeah.
And as Rosa said, it turns her off, but it turns me off too.
Right.
And oftentimes it has nothing to do whether or not they can afford it or not. That's just who they are.
Absolutely. And one thing I really liked about you, and I knew that you weren't a cheapskate, was I don't know what date this was, probably like our 10th date, and I had gone to the casino with Sharyn, and she had won some jackpot. Right, I know, right?
How unusual. Yeah.
And 2 people came out to pay, to give her money, and then one other lady who was working around there was there too. And Sharyn gave each of them like $100 bill, just out of her winnings. When they counted her money out, she handed each of them back, and I'm thinking, dang. Like, in my mind, I'm like, that's $300. Like, what? But at the same time, I understood that, and I think the woman even said, you don't have to do this. And she said,
right.
You said something about when I win, I got to share or something.
That's right.
To that part.
Yeah, and I say, I say, it doesn't come to me, it comes through me.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? So, and that's just how I feel, especially with money.
Yeah.
People look at it the way that they want to look at it, but I'm just saying for me. But go ahead, hon.
No, and that was, for me, like a big wake-up call as to, giving back. I didn't mind leaving the tip. I definitely don't consider myself as a cheapskate. No. Yeah, do I clip coupons from time to time? I do.
Yeah, that's not being cheap. That's just being thrifty and making
exactly.
making your dollar.
But I'm still gonna leave them what I'm gonna leave them something on the way out the door. But at the same time, that just changed my attitude a little bit about, blessings to others. When you get when you are blessed, then you are able to bless
Other
others.
people, absolutely.
And so I just don't
Absolutely.
understand why. And most of our circle of friends are doing well. So I don't see anybody.
Well, in the sense that nobody's homeless that we know of, or
Right,
anything
right,
like that.
right.
Everyone's got a job, them retired from a job, got another
Right,
job,
exactly.
good careers, and
Own homes and stuff,
homes,
whatever.
cars, and can afford themselves.
So I'm saying, if you are blessed, I don't understand why it's so hard to bless others. That's all. I mean, it really gets under my skin.
Yeah,
when I
it
tell
really
you,
does.
It does.
And because I had, we were still in the first part of our dating, and we, and I was like, well, I don't want her to think I'm showing off or anything. I could have said I would have did it whether she was there or not.
Right.
And I will purposely go find one of the cleaning ladies that I talk
In
to
the
all the
restaurant,
time
yeah.
and make sure. And here's a little something to you, because you do something all day long that we don't want to do anytime, which is clean our bathrooms.
Right.
You know what I mean? Look, here's $100. Thank you for what you do, babe.
Yep.
Make their day.
Exactly.
Make their day.
And that's the greatness of giving back, blessing others, and doing it in a way that most people see as when you're giving money, most people are going to look at you one way or the other. You either have a lot or you don't. You know what I'm saying? But whether Sharyn has a lot or not, she's going to give back. And that's one thing I really, really love about her. But on a different note, go ahead.
No, and it has nothing to do with them. This is my relationship with the universe. You
Right,
see what I'm
right.
saying?
But that's what I'm saying.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Because I don't want, everyone out there in lesbian land, like, well, everything ain't about money. No, the generosity of spirit.
Right.
Okay, that's what being able to, like, I remember, was it you? Remember we pulled over? Oh, this is how I'm loving you for. We were in Balboa Park, and the people in front of us had a flat tire or something, and you called AAA for them on my car, right?
Right. We used our AAA to help them out.
Right, and they were just like, no, let's give you something. No, we don't need it. It's not even about that.
Right.
It was just, some people who look like us, they were just black folks, had a bad moment. The car went flat. And
I just stood there because when AAA came, I just acted like it was the one I was in.
Right.
And they
Fixed
helped
the
them
car.
out, and they were on their way.
Yeah, but they were so appreciative. So like I say, it's not always about money. Like I say, it's how you feel about things and how you navigate the world. And so if I'm dealing with a cheapskate and a person who think about like getting a dime out of them is like they're gonna lose 3 teeth over it. Like, that's okay, keep it. I can't take it.
Right.
I can't take you and your attitude too. You know what I mean? Like I said, who had the extra fries?
Right.
I don't care. Here's another $12. Whatever.
Well, I have another example, another story. As y'all know, we got stories, because I am a part of several different groups, and I was out with
Several.
some of my friends in this one group that I'm in, and the check came. Everybody's trying to figure out, and one of the women at the table, she's an accountant, so we normally give her the check,
right?
And she normally figures out what everybody needs,
right?
To pay.
She nukes it
down.
Well,
it was a big group, so of course now restaurants are adding gratuity right into it, like
right,
y'all gonna pay us out the gate,
right.
One of the women at the table said, "Well, I think the people that ordered the most need to pay the gratuity." I said, the gratuity is the number of heads of people who's sitting at these seats. So if it's 10 people, they may say a group of 10, then we're going to charge you this. So if you're the 11th person and she was late, so you're the 11th person that's sitting here, this is why we got to pay a gratuity. But you're the main one saying stuff. It's just like, that's the stuff. I said, and I looked at her and said, that's not how it works. and in my mind, I'm like, I can't with these grown women.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't. Don't come out to eat if you cannot afford to come out to eat.
I ain't gonna argue with you over $11.75. I'm just
Period.
Not. Yeah.
I just don't understand the thinking of that and the whole, now, don't get me wrong, let's make this really clear. I don't think a cheapskate is somebody who wants what they want for their money. So, like, if you're having a home building, they trying to, you pay for the upgraded wood, and you see some, wood coming in, and you say something. That's totally different.
Right.
That's not being a cheapskate. That's just like, I paid for
money. Right.
Upgraded stuff.
I want to receive what I paid for. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So when you arguing with people about that, that is totally different. I got your back. Look, who we got to whoop? Because you getting your stuff. But at the end of the day, when they finish building that home, are you giving them, a little tip for, their troubles? Because sometimes people go through stuff that we have no idea of what they would have gone through.
Yes.
And it might have been during our visit there. You know what I'm saying? So we're in the restaurant. The girl just might got yelled at because she bought somebody the wrong drink that was at our table. You just never know what people are going through.
Right.
And,
when you come across their path, you're right. You have
and
no
it's
idea.
like, if you can bless them, just do that. Don't be a cheapskate, please. It is not. And if y'all dating, it's not sexy. It really is not.
Right. But it does.
If y'all
give
trying to
you,
show out, that ain't it.
It allows you to peep into their personality in a different kind of way. Like, I didn't see that about. And then when it happens, and it happens again, and it happens again, it's no accident.
Right.
That's who they are.
Right.
We are. Our habits make us.
Right.
As simple as that. You are what you do repeatedly. If you cuss all the time, you cuss. You know what I mean? I don't cuss all the time, motherfucker. No, you cuss. You cuss.
Like every time I heard you,
right? It was that. That's an improper noun. So not to belabor the part, but the dating. We go through the whole realm. I mean, it ain't just the connecting, the dating, falling in love, sex, the relationship with their children, or if they ain't got children, you do, or your parents, and we got to spend every third Saturday at my grandma's house. Or having to deal with other obligations, because when you start dating and sharing your time together, all of a sudden, like, if you're hooking up with her and she's hooking up with you, I got charity work, boom, 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 and I got this, da-da-da, and then I go feed the whales, and oh, Lord, when I met Rosa, I'm just like, how do you have time? I mean, do you have time for me? You got kids, you got work, you got the, I'm a black woman in America, I got to help other black people, and then, school, and I'm like, ooh, where do I fit in? So I just had to like jump in and go with her cadence, you know what I mean? And she said the same thing about me, but in any event, we're looking at so many different dynamics of impact, effect, play into the relationship we have with a person. Today we're just talking about dating people who are cheapskates. Absolutely. If you are with one. I don't mean just thrifty or budget minded. I mean just cheap. Just cheap. You know what I mean? And I'm like I say, I'm not going to argue with you over $11.75. Right. And I don't care who had the extra bagel. Right. I really don't care. It's important to me that we got together, had brunch together, and we can get her through the door. But you so busy hoping that you ain't got to pay a penny more. How much did you put in, Sharyn? Don't you worry about me. I took care of that and that. You know what I mean? But that's just who they are. Right. So if you're dating a cheapskate, how do you know? You'll know. You'll know. You know. And if that bothers you, that character flaw, if you will, with those things, something that you notice about them that just really makes you, climb up the wall. I think it's best that you guys do talk about it. Right. At least, because sometimes some people are like, well, I'm just being me. You call it what you want. I'm just being me, babe. Right. Well, you being you is being pretty cheap.
Right. And that, they still may be, a great person for you. Just have the conversation, because maybe you can make up on another end for that. Be like, okay, when we go out, I'm leaving the tip. Or, I'll pay for us going out where, they pay for other stuff. So, I mean, if you have that conversation and whatever that looks like, I mean, I'm not saying don't date a cheapskate. I just won't. But y'all date whoever you want to date. I'm just saying, if it bothers you or anything about them is bothering you when it comes to being a cheapskate,
address it.
Have that conversation.
Yeah.
Have the conversation and just kind of, you know what I'm saying? You might have to juggle a little bit. Like, okay, you pay this time, leave an okay tip. Because you can teach people other things.
Right, because some people, one thing we haven't
covered. They just may not know.
is that, quite frankly, some people don't even see that in themselves. You know,
Right,
like, oh, I
right.
wasn't aware. Well, that's what I should do, or why is it a big deal? You know, no one else has called you a cheapskate. You know,
Well, they are. They just didn't tell you in your
right?
face.
They didn't that's right. They talking about you. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Especially if it goes to an extreme level.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So we're not beating you down. We're just talking to our friends out in lesbian land and far beyond, just about the different kind of things that can go down in a relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, say, well, what happened to you and little cutie pie? Well, did she do this? No. Did she do that? No. Did she do that? No, that ain't it. Oh, she was just a cheapskate. Like, girl, I hear you.
Right. That will drive me up a wall.
Yeah.
I just do not.
Yeah.
I can't deal with a cheapskate.
So in any event, we would love to hear from you. Have you guys had those similar experiences? Because evidently, if you see me and Rosa feel a little passionate about it, you know what I mean.
Exactly.
But I tell you what, if you are dating one. So,
Exactly.
so let us hear from you.
Yeah.
Okay, we would love to. So look, I think that's all we got for that. Okay. Until next time, as we always say, we're wishing you the very best
Of all good things, stay safe and stay woke, and watch out for them cheapskates.
Let's go.
Love you.
Bye.